All right, it's time for the Australia Cup final, coming in a week earlier than we originally expected. It's Melbourne victory against the Macarthur Bulls, Macarthur FC, whatever you want to call them. Bulls going for their second Australia Cup in 3 years. Victory, of course, won their last cup in 2021, looking to equal Adelaide United's record of 3 Australia Cups. Funny stat about this game as well, Victory and Bulls, the only previous champions not to have also lost a final. Everyone else who's won a cup has also been in a losing final, but neither of these two teams have done that. So that streak will be broken today. But Jacob, the big storyline going into this one is obviously Valère Germain, his red card in the semi-final against South. He would not be in this game. That is a big blow for Macarthur.
Especially considering he was the goal scorer to put them
Yes.
through as well, and how important he's been for the side. Obviously, they can't have Harry Sawyer either because he's cup tied for South Melbourne. So, how Macarthur are going to look up front is going to be that's going to be the big question, I think, moving into this game, because Germain has been basically their entire sort of attacking focus so far in the cup, which you'd expect with some of the outs that they've had. So no, it's a tough one for them. Look, it's not completely undoable for Macarthur. I think we could all agree that Victory have looked exceptional so far in the cup. Maybe perhaps a little bit of a blip against Adelaide where they just, I don't know, it just seemed to be a pretty 50-50 game, that one, at least from what I could see inside the loud, bloody dirty, horrible nightclubs that I was in on Saturday night, trying to watch the game on my phone. But no, Macarthur, their backs are up against the wall here. And I think it's going to be a real sort of show of character to see how they can go. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
I love that you've given absolutely zero context as to why you were in a nightclub.
Oh, yeah.
Football on your phone.
Yeah, no, just normal Saturday night.
Will, Macarthur, last season, a lot of their goals, a lot of their creativity came from 2 players. It was Ulysses de Villa and Valère Germain. This is the first time in a long time they're going to go into a competitive future without either of those 2 players, or without both of them, I should say, sorry. Both of them around the team. That's definitely going to have some worries.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it looked like Germain has carried them on their back a lot of times and has created something out of nothing in plenty of games. So it's hard to see where the attacking threat comes from. I think Jakalic will have to step up quite a bit and maybe does take the focal point there up top. Which kind of leads into my prediction in a way. I want him to score a little consolation goal, I think. Ooh. And then I think Victory win 3-1 with Virgos also netting. So I think that's how the game will flow. Yeah, I'm going pretty specific this week. I want to try and nail it with only the one match. You have to kind of pull off a bit of a miracle to outrank the other predictions here. So that's how I think the game will flow. I think Victory will get ahead early, and then Macarthur might pull one back late. And I'm thinking Jakalic is the danger man that they've got left, because De Silva hasn't really convinced too much in recent times. He's been maybe just dropping back deeper a little bit, if anything, in his career. So I don't see it, the threat coming from him. The younger players, you've got Jed Drew coming off the bench normally, so it'll be interesting to see how they kind of solve the big missing hole of Germain.
Bloody, do you see it that same way? Marin Jakalic, perhaps the focal point for Macarthur if they are to get goals in this game?
I mean, it has to be. There's no Valère Germain because he stupidly picked up a second yellow card. I'd love to know what was going through his head at the time, because it was so needless. You're literally seconds away from the referee blowing the whistle, and you make an absolutely needless tackle at the point in the match. Like, I know he's not going to play striker, but Jakalic seems like the most creative outlet in the front line, unless they're going to pull someone off the bench that could, just create something magical. Because other than that, you've got a Luke Bratton thunderbeat of a strike that he can hit from almost anywhere, especially from a dead ball. Like, I don't know. Otherwise, it just has to go through Jakalic, right?
Will, you predicted a Nikos Virgos goal in your prediction. I believe Ross has doubled up on that as well.
Okay, I'm going to go Melbourne Victory to win, Nikos Virgos to score, Victory to keep a clean sheet, and for there to be 4 or more yellow cards in the game.
He keeps doing these ones where it's just like there's just so much to it. Like, ugh.
There is a lot to it, but we'll get to last week in a little bit. But as we go into the final round, I reckon it will probably be between Poletti and Ross. Ross has pulled some of these off, and he has got votes. So
I've fallen away in the race because the last week's. So yeah, it's going to come down to the two of them, and I guess when it's that tight a race, you're going to have to put it all out there for a chance to get the points.
So some of the additional context behind this game is that, of course, the final was originally scheduled for the following weekend on the 5th of October. With the chatter of potentially South Melbourne and Melbourne Victory being involved in a final, Melbourne is very booked up that weekend. The conversation turned to what would the available options be, and we know now, Poletti, that even though Macarthur is hosting it, Football Australia have decided to host the game in Melbourne. That arguably probably gives them a pretty sizable crowd bump compared to hosting the game in Macarthur. But of course, you're dealing with the AFL Grand Final the day before as well. What do you make of that decision to move forward?
I mean, I was very much on the just hosting Campbelltown, 5th of October, the original scheduled date. Venue availability, can't do too much. It just so happened to be a coincidence that was the best case scenario for yours truly. Obviously, they've decided to go a different route, which I can't blame Football Australia for doing. I think that they've done what they feel is best for the competition, and you get to play it at the Melbourne Rectangular Stadium now, which I have absolutely no issue with. I think it's a fine venue. I hope that Victory fans pack it out. It's a long weekend in Melbourne, public holidays, school holidays, all that wonderful jazz. So I see absolutely no reason why they can't draw a bumper crowd.
All right, it's a good time to head to Chris's prediction.
My prediction for the Australia Cup final is that if Melbourne Victory don't beat Macarthur, it's an absolute dismal failure. But the real prediction, a crowd of less than 6,000 people will watch a game that Melbourne Victory comfortably dominate against Macarthur. Macarthur will be out of their league against Melbourne Victory under Kisnorbo.
I think that's pretty low.
That's very low. I have faith that the Victory fans would do better than that. I'm thinking back, the 3 cup finals that Adelaide have had were all sellouts. And I know that's Adelaide's obviously different market, and we love our finals football here. But Victory are a similar sort of fan base, and get those big numbers out for big games. So, I mean, maybe he's drawing from the perhaps lower than expected numbers at that original rivalry semi-final. But then you've got to bear in mind that there was the prelim final, whatever, being played just across the road at the MCG as well. So that probably had a bit to do with it. So it does seem, quite low.
But what is the correlation between Geelong supporters and Melbourne Victory supporters?
There'd be enough.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
Enough to
even just
massively impact a crowd like that? To only draw just over 5,000? I don't think there'd be that much of a correlation there. And the only thing
hold on. If you go down that line of logic, though, why are we playing in the summer?
Yeah.
Does Chris think it's still in Campbelltown, or?
He submitted Monday evening, so that was well after the announcement was taking place.
There you go. He's made his bed,
Well, to be fair, there was another announcement last week that, and someone still put a prediction in well after said announcement had taken place.
That's true. We'll get to it. Okay, I'm going to jump in with my prediction because it's not actually to do with the game. Obviously, we're in the final. We get the trophy lift, we get the celebrations and all that. So, in a plea of desperation, and having seen that some of the predictions are a little bit similar, I'm going alternate, and I'm saying when they get the little stage out to award the medals and the trophies, someone trips over one of the steps and has, I'm going to class, a legitimate stumble on the stage when they go to
legitimate stumble. Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay,
I cannot wait for them to not have a stage.
Okay, so I need to put a clarification in here, just for the avoidance of doubt. Are we including a repeat of, say, a David Gallup moment as a legitimate stumble?
That is definitely a legitimate stumble.
But no, because you said going up the stairs, he fell off the stage.
Oh, okay.
So
Anyone
for the
on the
avoidance
stage,
of doubt,
anyone on the stage, a legitimate stumble.
Okay.
On or around the stage. That's
Okay.
my play. That's my play.
Cannot wait. For
I can't wait for
Excited.
I
That's gonna
can't
be
wait
so
for
good.
someone to trip, like just as they're taking the step before they reach the tear.
Yeah, that would be even better. Hey. Yeah.
All right, who else hasn't gone yet?
Me.
Okay, go for it.
And that's because mine hasn't really sort of come up yet. Because I'm not gonna predict the result, because that's a pretty easy one to do, and we want to point a difference. It's not about any of these outside factors like crowd or a weird one like Lockie, but it's something that's going to happen during the game. And I think that the winning goal for the game will be from a penalty, but not from a penalty shootout.
Okay.
So, any time during the 90 or extra time, I think that the winning goal will be a penalty. I'm not going to say who's going to score it or which team it's for, but I think that the winning goal will be a penalty. I know it's a low bar relative to some of the ones that we've heard, but I'm out of the race anyway. If I can potentially throw a spanner in the works to make this a bit interesting by taking points off somebody in the race, then I'm all for it. So I've sort of phoned it in a bit today, but that's my prediction.
Nicely done. All right, penalty but not penalty shootout. I like it. Well, talking about other people who are phoning it in, let's go to Christian.
Tough one to call, but I'm going to go with Melbourne victory to get the win. Not just the win, but claim the cup in the 90 minutes against Macarthur at Amy Park. No Jermaine for Macarthur. Who fills the void up front? Still question marks around that, and victory have just looked, super impressive these past few games, and they look in top form to claim another Australia Cup title.
Okay, so I think this is a good time to put my prediction in. Now, I'm going to make sure that I clarify exactly, because we're going to have some debate about my last week's
Stop
prediction
clarifying
earlier.
so much. We don't need it.
Yes, we do. So, my prediction is that there will be at least one goal scored beyond 75th minute. So for the avoidance of doubt, if the clock says 7500 on it or beyond, a goal will be scored. So 76th minute onwards, but 77500 will be on the clock.
Yes. Yeah.
So for the
Late
avoidance of doubt, that is when there will be at least one goal scored beyond that time. And I'll give my logic here, because I know we love logic and reasoning here. Macarthur are the late game heroes from last season. They absolutely love scoring late. They've done it a bit in this cup as well. And Melbourne Victory have also done very similar things this year. Yes, they've been scoring early against the NPL opposition they've come up against. You can only beat who's in front of you, which is what Macarthur did when they won the cup. Was you can only play who's in front of you, regardless of where they are in the pyramid. But they came up against A-League opposition last week, and they didn't score until the 88th minute, I want to say. So this is primed for at least one late goal, and that's why I've gone the prediction I've done.
Yeah, very nice. Also, Victory conceded a lot of late goals last year as well.
But that was under Popovich.
It was under Popovich.
So, a new
So
coach,
the Socceroos are
perhaps
conceding
that-
more late goals.
There we go.
Potentially. All right, let's rewind. That's our finals preview. We've got to go and award some votes for the semi-finals. Now, this is going to be extremely controversial. Paletti, let's deal with you right up front. Your prediction was that there is a minimum of 4 XG across both of the semi-final fixtures. Now, unfortunately for you, I'm sure it was potentially a venue issue, but the South Melbourne Macarthur game did not capture XG.
On the television broadcast.
No, it didn't capture XG. No one has it. We've looked, and if you want to be even more specific, we said on the episode last week that we were taking our data from FootMob, and FootMob definitely do not have the XG numbers.
Yeah, I know, because I struggled to find it, but I have found XG. But I have found XG numbers. Now we can debate the merit of them, but I found XG numbers.
Yes, the XG number that you found was Macarthur's 0.65, where they had a penalty which is guaranteed 0.76. So it's incorrect.
Okay, I'm still going to defend myself here. So we've got Melbourne Victory 1.78 XG, Adelaide United 1.84 XG, South Melbourne 1.04 XG, and Macarthur 0.65 XG for a total of 5.31 or 5.39. I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's fairy dust, Paletti.
That is the case I'm arguing. We have some solid numbers because our original source did not have any tracking data whatsoever. I don't think I should be robbed of a point, and I'm not arguing for 3, I'm not arguing for 2. I don't think I should be robbed of a point when we have data available.
How do we know that you didn't? How do we know that you didn't make that website and put the data up there yourself?
Do you think I could cry XG as a stat? Do you think I would care enough to balance out these sorts of numbers?
Well, that's where it serves you right for picking it as a prediction, you know? You don't believe in it and it's come back to bite you.
All I'm saying is that I don't think I should be denied the chance of a point when we have numbers available, particularly...
we don't have numbers available. We don't.
We have numbers available. I just gave them to you.
Yeah, and they're wrong. They're incorrect. They're straight up
I
wrong.
think based on what we have, that I think I'm in with a shout for at least a point.
Will, Jacob, can we do a quick poll?
The numbers don't make sense, as you said, Lucky.
it's-
I'm not going to.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to say that you can get a point when you can't prove something, if that makes sense. You know, like you can't say, 3 goals will be scored, and then 0 goals were scored, and say, well, but maybe they were scored in, you know, some alternate universe or something. Like, in this universe, we don't have those stats, Paletti. Like, it's
We
a
have
shame.
the data in front of us.
The data. You keep saying the data. I don't think that's not the data. That's some data that's just, you know.
It's just random numbers. And I've looked at the website Billy's talking about, and I'm 99% sure it was like expected predictions for the XG numbers.
No, because I showed you a screenshot of the number before the game, what the prediction was, and the one afterwards does not match that.
Yeah, but it's still incorrect. Like, it can't be less than 0.76 for Macarthur.
Can you do
Alright.
negative XG? Is that
This is
a
bull
thing?
play.
Lose XG?
All right. Well, completely irrelevant to the factor that Paletti is currently on top of the table. We have ruled them out to votes this week.
This is horse bleep, honestly.
Let's go through some of the others. So we can rule a couple out. Christian said that Jacob will not travel for the game after Jacob had confirmed in the group chat that he wasn't going to the game. So Christian was wiped out. Will, you had all teams to score and Southern victory to win. 2 out of 4, 1 out of 2. I think you're pretty long odds there. Chris also had an all Melbourne final and then South to win their game in extra time 3-2. That didn't really go anywhere. What I will say, Jacob, I'm pretty sure you're the only one who got 100%. If Macarthur get the lead, they won't lose it, which it took a little while in the game.
Yeah.
But you got 1-0 up and they didn't lose it, so well done. And then the others here, we've got myself, I said victory to score at least 2 goals. They only got 1, so didn't get that right. Ross had 8,000 or more across both games to turn up. The actual crowd figure was 9,269 across both games. I feel like that's pretty good.
That's very
And then he said victory to win, also by 2 goals. And they only won by 1 goal. So not 100%, which is why I'm giving you the edge for 3 votes here. But Will, he has done pretty well.
Yeah, I just think the crowd, that's just a lowball number. Like, everyone was disappointed at the crowds.
But in some ways, that's more impressive than that
Yeah.
he was able to accurately guess that there would perhaps be lower numbers than everyone was expecting.
I get what you're saying, but that's like, I don't really agree with the logic of that. Like, he just expected lower, he guessed lower. I don't know. That's not really that convincing for me.
I mean, I'm happy with that judgment because
Yes.
it means that I'm my argument's stronger. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Jacob.
Jacob's definitely got the 3 and Ross has the 2 though, right? For getting like 2 out of 3 correct.
I do think, yeah.
yeah.
I'm just saying it's not as impressive as you made it out.
Okay, fair enough. Paletti, you look like you want to speak.
What's the point? Everything to say anyway.
Okay, well then, 2 votes to Ross, 3 votes to Jacob. And then we have potentially me. I said victory to win and no, I didn't say win.
No, you
actually. I
said
just
victory to score at least 2 goals.
Score at
They
least
did.
2 goals, they got 1. Who else are the competitors? Will, you said all teams to score and South and victory to win. Who are we giving the 1 vote to?
I think it should go to me.
No.
I legitimately think it should go to me. My prediction and the data I have provided, regardless of whether you agree with it or not, is better than either of those 2 predictions.
Let me take this. I'll go to ask Will and Jacob a question. So, Channel 10 did broadcast XG stats for the Melbourne Adelaide game.
Yeah.
They were victory 0.95 and Adelaide 0.75. So that is, 1.7 XG. So let me ask you the question. Do you think the South Macarthur game was at least 2.3 XG? Think back to the chances.
With the
Couple of
penalty,
good
yeah.
Curto saves. The penalty is 0.76.
What's the number? Has to be over.
2.3 for that game. So you take the penalty, you get to about...
So you'd need 1.6, 1.7 from the rest of the play.
1.6 non-penalty XG in that game.
Birdo had some
If we
big
got-
saves. South Melbourne had some big saves.
The saves don't matter. It's where they shoot from.
Yeah, it's the position of the shot and the likelihood.
I
of
don't
that
think it
going
gets
in.
there. But is it closer than me saying Victory to score at least 2 goals and they get 1?
I think it is.
It's
I know
possibly.
I'm biased here, but I
We know you think it is. We know
but
you
I
think it
legitimately think it is.
We've got that by
shit.
now.
It's tempting. So, you know,
Yeah.
Paletti, if you weren't so far ahead on the leaderboard, I'd probably concede this vote to you.
But you already have a star.
I do, and you don't get one for winning the preseason cup either. So maybe, yeah. Look, honestly,
It's a
I think
Mickey
Paletti's
Mouse
closer.
competition.
So Mickey Mouse
Mouse
competition.
Yeah, I got to go with Lockie. Sorry, Paletti. It's just provable it happened. It's close to it, but yours, I don't know. It's it's too many unknowns. Not a good vibe.
You're gonna leave the door open for me, Jacob, on the final day? It would bring me to within 3.
Yeah, see, I don't want that to happen. Really. We're
But
just in a
Ross
stalemate
would
here.
also be up there as well. Ross would be 2 votes behind.
Yeah, but is Ross's going to come off?
Yeah, but you're leaving final day drama.
Yeah, this.
Yeah,
Come on,
but I'm not going to win
Jacob,
it.
I
so-
supported you last season. I supported
Yeah, I know you
last
did.
season.
I know you did, and I could feasibly see potentially there being like a 0.
I can plot the
Five
the
XG?
shots after. I can get the extra if needed.
Like, and I think that might. I think you might be closer in our estimate of XG than Lockie was to a second goal because the second goal wasn't scored. But
Should we
We'll
go
have to
back
do
to
a
tossing your coin?
coin
Paletti,
flip.
surely, if you were a good player, you would back yourself to let me in with a sniff, and let Ross in with a sniff, and
Ego
take
it,
it to
do
the
it for
final
me,
day.
yeah.
I heard a coin
Yes.
toss. I heard a coin toss.
I reckon if you were a real player, you'd back yourself.
I heard a coin toss. Tails?
Okay, Paletti
Heads?
can't do the coin toss.
Yeah,
then.
no,
No,
please
no,
don't do
no.
that.
I don't have my
shit.
wallet near me.
No, Lockie, pick. Heads or tails?
No, it's on you. It's on you. Your
Okay,
call.
I'll pick heads. Okay? I can
Okay.
see it. So this is just how it loaded. I swear this is just how it loaded. I'm
Yeah,
flipping
tails
it now.
never fails. Come on.
Oh.
Oh,
That's a point
just
for
one.
me.
Best of
best of
3.
3. Yeah, yeah.
Best of 3. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh.
Oh, rubbish.
I-
All right,
I-
here's the table. Paletti's got a 3 vote lead.
You
We'll
had a
see you
cop
next week.